On Wednesday, July 8th, authorities found what are believed to be the remains of a small child buried in a wooded area of Stokey Township, Illinois, near Belleville, about 16 miles southeast of St. Louis. Investigators received a tip earlier in the week that a child may have been buried there, and search teams from local, state, and federal agencies conducted an extensive search before locating the remains. The St. Clair County Coroner's Office has informally identified the remains, and an autopsy will be performed to determine cause of death and confirm the child's identity due to their condition. So, this is the case that's been going on here in the St. Louis metro area for the last week or so. It is a very unfortunate case. This involves a child, a mother, a father, a girlfriend, or another woman. Of course, we know domestic violence, DV, is something that should not go on in society, and most definitely child abuse in any shape, form, or fashion should not be allowed in a moral and ethical society today. So this is unfortunate all the way around. But let's get into this case and see how even the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department dropped the ball. Several other local law enforcement agencies dropped the ball. This mother was reaching out to law enforcement for almost 2 years trying to find out where her son was. There are several caveats that play in this story. There is race play, as always. Race in America is always part of the narrative. There is poverty play, low income, whether you're white or black. If you're poor, and in America, whether white or black, this system does not care about you. So let's get into this case, the kidnapping case. So the discovery of this body stems from a parental kidnapping investigation out of Desluge, Missouri. A mother reported, this mother of this child, a mother reported, and remember, she's a white female, and I think this plays a part in this whole narrative and how we got to this point today. And in all of this, the mother, the father, local law enforcement, everybody, the juvenile court system, or the juvenile division of the police department, everybody failed this child. A mother reported on June 12th that she had not seen her child for more than a year. The child, identified by his mother as Ronell Prince Jones Jr., reportedly disappeared shortly after his second birthday. The mother said she tried to report her son missing for more than 2 years, but it went nowhere until Deslodge Police finally took up the case. So she reported it to the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department first 2 years ago. And then finally, in June of 2026, she went to the Deslodge Police Department, and they put some fire under this story to find out what was going on with this child. So you got the largest police department, and there's all kind of controversy going on with the St. Louis Police Department as we speak under Mayor Kara Spencer. They're understaffed, underappreciated, and underpaid. And evidently there's chaos and disruption in the police department because guess what? Governor Mike Kehoe has taken over the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department from the city of St. Louis under the tutelage of Kara Spencer. So there's a lot going on with our St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department and issues with public safety for all of us that are taxpayers. And now you have this mother, this white female mother who had this child with a black man. I think that plays into this scenario. And if you look at their mug shots of the alleged father, the alleged woman that's with the father, and even the alleged mother in this case, they do not look like they are people from Ladue. I think if this was a situation where a white female from Ladue or Chesterfield or St. Charles County had a missing report on their child, I think those local police departments would have handled this completely differently. So the arrests were made. The father, who was a 32-year-old Ronell Marquise Jones was taken into custody on June 30th, and his girlfriend, 35-year-old Kirsty Dora, was arrested July 2nd, both on charges of parental kidnapping and first-degree harassment. They are being held without bond. And here again, I think race plays in this. You have Ronell, the dad, who is 32 years old, and then his girlfriend, Kirsty Dora, who's 35. Both of them are black, tattoos on their face. The mug shots do not look like two people that have college educations from Wash U or St. Louis U. And the picture that they showed on the alleged mom, the white female, she looks like she's considerably younger than the alleged father, Ronell Jones, who's 32. The alleged mother, her name is Miranda Randazza. She looks like she's considerably younger. So it could be a scenario where this father, the alleged father, and his girlfriend probably harassed and bullied this young white female with this whole custody issue with this child. So hold on. So I think there's a lot that plays in it. I think there's race play. I think there's socio-economic issues. I think there's a certain level of education and ignorance that's involved in this. And I think the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department decided they didn't want to be involved with a family court issue. So the shifting stories, according to a probable cause statement, the mother said that Mr. Jones refused to let her see the child and that she'd last seen him with missing teeth. Well, the kid's only 2 or 3 years old. Mr. Jones reportedly gave investigators conflicting accounts. At one point, he said that the child was with the state, and at another point, he claimed he had dropped the child off at an Amish community in Mississippi, though he wouldn't provide details to help police verify that. So that sounds very sketchy and shady. And in today's society, when you have a certain level of ignorance, I think there may be a certain level of mental illness involved in this. And there is a ton of opioid issues that are galvanizing and tearing down our society today. These all could be playing in this scenario: opioid issue, mental illness, and ignorance and poverty. How they found the body after the arrest: one of the two suspects gave investigators a tip about where the body might be, leading to this past Wednesday's search. So the boy's mother, Miranda Randazzo, made multiple posts on social media in which she repeatedly demanded answers and criticized the police process. She said that she had reached out to the St. Louis City Police Department via phone many times to be hung up on and told that her son was with his father and to leave them alone. And it was nothing for them to search and to investigate. She wrote this on Facebook back in August of 2024. Remember, the mother filed a missing persons report with the St. Louis Police Department in July of 2024. St. Louis SLPD did nothing, and then she filed another police report, this time in June 2026, with the Des Lodge Police Department, prompting this investigation today. I think we have reached a point in society today where, here again, with the understaffing of police departments, after the Mike Brown situation, the situation in Minneapolis, and all of these protests that went on over the last 10 or so years with black pedestrians getting shot by white cops, I think most of our police officers are not trying to do very much, especially in our urban cities. If you call about gunfire and somebody shooting around you, the police may take several hours. They're going to get there after the shooting is over with. They are not trying to have any kind of altercation with citizens today whatsoever. Murder, I think police officers are looking for guns, drugs, and shootings after the shooting have taken place. Police officers are not trying to do much. They're trying to work their 8 hours and go home. I think they dropped the ball on this. I think they looked at this family and made a decision about it and ignored it, and now it's coming to bite them in the butt. This is an unfortunate situation. We got to know better and do better, and mental illness, the opioid crisis, drugs are all a problem in America today.